Shalom, brothers and sisters. I'm back with another video. I'm going to be discussing in this video Enki's journey to the Earth on a spaceship. And we're going to be reviewing and reading from the tablet 3 of the Lost Book of Enki. You're going to be seeing how he journeyed from Nibiru to the Earth. And the mission, once again, was to come to get the gold. Okay, you guys. I'm just going to go over just some key points here to make out before we get into the reading of the tablet. In this, you are going to see the account of the journey to the seventh planet. Okay, the seventh planet is Earth. Okay, so Anzu, that you're going to see in here, Anzu was the pilot and the commander of the ship. Okay, Enki got on the chariot to travel to the earth, and Zu knew the heavens quite well. He was a prince and he was selected for the mission. He was from a royal bloodline on Nibiru. So you will see that they took off and headed towards our sun. Now, as they were traveling towards our solar system, they saw Little Gagai. So Little Gagai is actually Pluto, and 2 is Neptune, An is Uranus, and Shar is Saturn. Kishar is Jupiter. Hammered bracelet is asteroid belt. Lahmu is Mars. Okay. In here, I want you guys to kind of point out that according to the Lost Book of Enki, Jupiter is female and Saturn is male. So you see the whole feminine and the masculine energies here in the solar systems. Okay. I will do another video on the Enuma Elish, the Epic of Creation. In those tablets, it actually provides how our solar system was actually created. Okay. Now, in this reading, you will also see how they traveled through the hammer belt. Okay, they had to use water thrusters to move the boulders or the asteroids out of their pathway. As they were traveling through, it's like the asteroids were pretty much attacking them, okay? They had to fight their way through this region in space. So they kept firing the water thrusters towards the asteroids, okay? Now, there were a multitude of asteroids in the way, and to them, they thought it was the revenge of Tiamat. Tiamat was the name of Earth before it was split in half in the beginning of creation. Earth was actually where the asteroid belt is, but it moved closer towards the sun after the collision with Nibiru billions of years ago. Okay, now they finally got through and they could actually see the sun, and they went to Mars, then to Earth. So you will see how the chariot actually touched down over the ocean on the Earth, and they had to swim to land. Okay, and you will see how a Lelu greeted them and said, "Welcome to a new planet." So we're going to get right into it. On the next slide, you will just see a image of our solar system, which actually includes Nibiru. So you will see that on the next slide, and then we're going to get into the reading. So this is the image of our solar system, you guys. You can see, you know, all of the planets in the solar system. You can see the asteroid belt. So yeah, I just wanted to provide this to you. I know a lot of people have heard about Planet X. So yeah, this is the 12th planet, according to this here. Okay, so now we're going to get into the reading.
The Lost Book of Enki. This is the account of the journey from Nibiru to Earth. Enki and his pilot Anzu, who is the chariot's commander, travel with 50 heroes to the Earth. In their space journey, they will pass the asteroid belt and the other planets in our solar system.
And how the legend of the fish god who came from the waters was begun. With heavy heart, Ea, the chariot, entered to soar up the command he gave. The commander's seat by Anzu, not by Ea, was occupied. Anzu, not Ea, was the chariot's commander. He who knows the heavens, his name's meaning was. For the task he was especially selected. A prince among the princes he was. Of royal seed his ancestry he counted. The celestial chariot he deftly guided. From Nibiru it powerfully soared. Toward the distant sun it directed. 10 leagues, 100 leagues, the chariot was coursing. 1,000 leagues, the chariot was journeying. Little Gaga came out to greet them. A welcome to the heroes it was extended. To blue-hued Anzu, the beautiful enchantress, it showed the way. By her sight, Anzu was attracted. Let us examine her waters, Anzu was saying. Ea, to continue without stopping, gave the word. It is a planet of no return, he forcefully said. Toward the heavenly On, the third in planetary counts, the chariot continued. On his side was online, his host of moons about him were whirling. To test his beams, the presence of water was revealing. A stop if needed to Ea, it was indicating. To continue the journey was Ea saying, toward Anshar, the heaven's foremost prince he was directing. Soon the ensnaring pull of Anshar they could tell. His color rings with fear they admired. Deftly did Anzu the chariots guided. The crushing dangers he cleverly avoided. The giant Kishar, foremost of firm planets, was next to be encountered. Her next pull was overpowering. With great skill did Anzu the chariot's course divert. With fury Kishar at the chariot divine lightnings was thrusting. Her host at the uninvited she directed. Slowly Kishar moved away for the chariot the next enemy to encounter. Beyond the fifth planet the hammer bracelet was lurking. Ea, his handiwork to set a roaring commanded, the water thrusted to prepare. Toward the host of turning boulders the chariot was rushing, each one like a slingshot stone ferociously at the chariot aim. The word by Ea was given. With the force of 1,000 heroes the stream of water was thrust. One by one the boulders turned face. A path for the chariot they were making, but as one boulder fled, another in its stead was attacking. A multitude beyond count was their number. A host for the splitting of team out revenge seeking. Again and again Ea the commands gave. The water thrusted to keep a roaring. Again and again toward the host of boulder streams of water were directed. Again and again the boulder their faces turned. A path for the chariot making, and then at last the path was clear. Unharmed the chariot could continue. A cry of joy the hero sounded. Double was the joy as the sight of the sun was now unveiled. Amidst the elation Anzu the alarm sounded. For the path to have fashioned excessive waters were consumed. Waters to feed the chariot's fiery stone for the remaining journey were not sufficient. In the dark deepness the sixth planet they could see. The sun's rays it was reflecting. There is water on Lamu, Ea was saying. Can you bring the chariot down upon it, Anzu, he was asking. Deftly Anzu the chariot toward Lamu directed. Reaching the celestial god, around it he the chariot made circle. The planet's net is not great, its pull is to handle easy, Anzu was saying. A sight to behold was Lamu. Many-hued it was. Snow white was its cap, snow white were its sandals, reddish-hued was its middle. In its midst lakes and rivers were a-glitter. Deftly Anzu the chariot made travel slower. By a lakeside it gently came down. Ea and Anzu, their eagles' helmets domed, to the firm ground they stepped down. On command the heroes, that which water sucks extended, the chariots bowed with the lake's waters to fill. While the chariot was getting its fill of waters, Ea and Anzu the whereabouts examined. With tester and sample all the matters they ascertained. The waters were good for drinking, the air was insufficient. All was in the chariot's annual recorded, the need for the detour described. With its vigor replenished, the chariot soared up to benevolent Lamu farewell bidding. Beyond the seventh planet was making its circuit. Earth and its companion the chariot were inviting. In the commander's seat Anzu was without words. Ea too was silent. Ahead was their destination, its gold Nibiru's fate for salvation or doom containing. The chariot must be slowed, or in the earth's thick atmosphere it shall perish, Anzu to Ea declared. Around Earth's companion the moon make slowing circles, Ea to him suggested. They circled the moon by the vanquishing. Nibiru in the celestial battle it prostrate and scarred was lying. Having the chariot thus slowed down toward the seventh planet, Anzu the chariot directed. Once, twice, the Earth's globe he made the chariot circle. Ever closer to the firm land he lowered it. Snow-hued was 2/3 of the planet, dark-hued was its middle. They could see the oceans, they could see the firm lands. For the signal beacon from Alelu they were searching. When ocean touched dry land, where 4 rivers were swallowed by marshes, Alelu's signal was beaconed. Too heavy and large a chariot is for the marshes, Anzu was declaring. The earth's pulling net, too powerful for on dry land to descend it is, Anzu to Ea announced. Splash down in the ocean's waters, Ea to Anzu shouted. Around the planet, Anzu made one more circuit, the chariot with much care toward the ocean's edge he lowered. The chariot's lungs he filled with air into the waters. Down it splashed. Into the depths it was not sinking. From the speaker a voice was heard, to earth be welcome, Alelu was saying. By his beam words the direction of his whereabouts was determined. Toward the place Anzu the chariots directed. Floating as a boat it was upon the waters moving. Soon the wide-ranging ocean narrowed. Dry land on both sides as guardian appeared. On the left side, brown-hued hills were rising. On the right, mountains to heaven their heads raised. Toward the place of Alelu was the chariot moving. Floating like a boat upon the waters it was. Ahead, the dry land was covered with flooding. Marshes the ocean were replacing. Anzu to Hero's commands uttered. Their fisher's suits to put on he ordered. A hatch of the chariot was then opened. Into the Martians the heroes descended. Strong ropes to the chariot they attached. With the ropes the chariot they were pulling. Alelu's beam words more powerful were becoming. Hurry, hurry, he was saying. At the edge of the marshes a sight there was to behold. Gleaming in the sun rays was a chariot from Nibiru. Alelu's celestial boat it was. The heroes their paces quickened. Toward Alelu's chariot they hurried. Impatient Ea donned his fisher's suit. Within his chest his heart was like a drum beating. Into the marsh he jumped. Toward its edge hurried steps he directed. High were the marshes flooding. Deeper was the bottom than he expected. He changed his gait to swimming. With bold strokes forward he advanced. As dry land he was approaching. Green meadows he could see. Then his feet touched firm ground. He stood up and by walking he continued. Ahead he could see Alelu standing, with his hands with vigor waving. Coming out of the waters, ashore Ea stepped. On dark-hued earth he was standing. Alelu toward him came running. His son by marriage he powerfully embraced. Welcome to a different planet, Alelu to Ea said.